everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Spideydude Radio Network here of the Spideydude Sports Show. It is Sunday night. I know a little bit weird night for us to record, but we thought it'd be easier to do that. And I could go back to how it was before with it goes back to some time during Spideydude experience. But anyway, welcome to the show. I am joined once again by Mr. Primetime. What's up?
The Knicks are champions and Sami Zayn is a world champion. Everything is good.
See, I got a lot of thoughts on that. But I got to introduce our other panelist for tonight's show. We got Adam. Welcome back, Adam.
Hi.
So, Adam, you haven't been on the show in a while, so I'm going to let you reintroduce yourself as I turn the music off. But I couldn't figure out which one to do. It was either daydreaming or... Yeah, anyway. So, all right, let's talk. Tonight we're going to be talking about World Cup. We're going to be talking about a little bit about college football. We'll be talking NFL preview. Both of these fine gentlemen are part of my fantasy football group. So, so Tom, you did better last year than you did, or no, year before last year, right?
I've unfortunately gotten progressively worse each year because I've been progressively getting every one of my players injured. Particularly the past 2 years, there is a conspiracy against me. I will fight. I will let you know, to whoever has been conspiring against me in the NFL, I want you to know I have a particular set of tools that I can use. I will find you. I will hunt you down, and I will make you pay.
Okay. Let's not go with threats 2 minutes into the show. Adam also been a part of it, but he's gotten progressively better, I think.
Yeah, I got better, but I had started strong last year. It was kind of like the Buccaneers, started strong and then just fell apart because actually Baker was my quarterback and just the fate of it went with them.
Yeah,
it just fell apart.
I feel that. You know, I did better last year than I did the year before. The first year I did okay. We've done it 3 years in a row now.
Yeah, the first year I came in second place, I believe.
Yeah, Evan won. And
then I came in fifth, and then thank God I wasn't last.
Yeah,
I think one of the years I was last. I'm not sure. I can't even remember at this point.
I think it was year one that you were last. I really felt bad for you. But sorry, I'm eating some pistachios because my blood sugar has been crazy. But so let's talk a little bit about World Cup because that's the thing that's been going on. And I'm not going to lie. I've enjoyed more the world's reaction to the World Cup than I have the actual World Cup. Does that make sense?
No, it does. Like I was going to sit up and say I got to at least watch the USA Australia game, and of like the highlights and stuff. I've not been impressed with USA's play. Yeah. They've been more lucky than good. And look, sometimes in sports, being lucky is what you need.
That Turkey game, I'm sorry, that last goal against Turkey, even though it's a meaningless game, that was so much luck on Turkey's part. Just because that was borderline offsides, in my opinion. The fact that they didn't do a review of it really irritated me. But
I will say I did learn a new soccer term. I guess, what is it called? It's going to be nutcracked or whatever, where I guess nutmeg. You pass the ball. Nutmeg, thank you. Yeah, where you kick the ball between the player's legs. So I did not know that that's what you call it. I thought you say you kick the ball between the legs.
Yeah, however, it's been fun to watch. I know, like, it's interesting because, like, Houston was so worried about, like, from the economic standpoint, the hotels were not booked the way they thought they were going to be booked. And so they've been running a lot of discounts. So there's been a lot of people like been able to get the hotels. I don't know. I can't speak for like Florida and New Jersey, like where you guys are, but I can speak.
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. Atlanta. So I know Atlanta's been busy. Houston's been busy too. Dallas, I think, has had more people.
I think Atlanta. I mean, the Atlanta Uniteds are very popular. There's a lot of people already that are into soccer here.
Yeah,
So
and
I think there's a
you have
built-in
that.
base.
You have that here in Houston and in Dallas, because you have the FC Dallas and you have the Dynamo here. I mean, the Dynamo is literally their stadium is literally across the street from the Astros. Like you have the highway that divides the two.
Yeah, and so, and for us here in Jersey, New York Red Bulls Stadium, which is in, Newark.
Yeah.
Newark. So it's
I'm
not
sorry,
that far from.
I'm sorry. They picked the most generic stadium to host the final. That you might have seen me on Twitter talking about it, but I think it's a mistake to put it in MetLife.
We did, and we talked about this before last session.
Yeah.
But I would say the Red Bull, like every time I take
Sounds
the
like
train,
a therapy session.
Well, I mean, would be. Are you going to bill me for the hours there, Adam?
Sure.
He should. But I was going to say, every time I go up to New York City and I take the train up, I pass by New York Red Bulls Stadium. So.
Oh yeah. No, listen. I think the stadiums that they picked, I personally think it should have been in SoFi. I've seen people talk about it being back over in Dallas, and it would have been fine being in Dallas.
It should have. It was going to be in either LA or New York because those are the two big cities, and I think it should have been in LA because
I think the only reason that they didn't put it in SoFi was because in '94 that's where the final was in the Coliseum.
Yeah.
What's wild is like I think outside of Kansas City, that's the only stadium that was a host to the World Cup in '94 that was a host this time.
Maybe they're trying to stay out of the Pacific time zone for the final.
I get that. Look, if the RFK site had been ready, if this was 2 years from now, then it probably would have been at the RFK site. Let's be real. Like it's the U.S. Capitol. You know, I get them not putting it at land at I don't even know if it's called FedEx still, wherever the Commanders play now.
Mm-hmm. I think it's still actually called FedEx, isn't it?
Last I checked it, that FedEx had let the naming rights expire, which I mean, after as a big of a crap hole as that stadium is.
It doesn't matter what you name it; it's still a horrible stadium.
The fact that they're going back to the RFK site should tell you everything you need to know. Also, what a giant FU to Dan Snyder, and which is so delicious. The former worst owner in sports. I think now Tepper in the NFL has taken the place of Dan Snyder as the most hated owner in sports, even more so than Jerry Jones, which
is shocking.
Listen.
To me, it's shocking.
We hate Jerry Jones as much as everybody else hates Jerry Jones. But Jerry Jones brings in a lot of money. Like the NFL is not what it is now without Jerry Jones.
So you're saying the NFL is Jerry Jones' war?
Well, you don't have the deals that they've made. You don't have the streaming deals. You don't have the media rights deals. It was because of Jerry that those things started happening. Like he's the one that helped negotiate the initial Fox deal to bring the NFL to Fox. And because of that opened the floodgates to places like, bringing CBS, CBS didn't have the NFL for a number of years, gets the NFL back because they, it's going to be interesting. The thing that's coming up next, which is going to be, they're trying to add more streaming options. And which I hate. I absolutely hate.
When you want to follow a team and you've got to pick up like 3 or 4 different streaming services in addition to having cable, that's insane.
It's asinine.
Well, it is, but also part of the problem is, for a lot of people can't afford cable anymore, which means, and a lot of people don't realize they have to then go buy a digital antenna and put it outside their room just to get the stations, and so that's also part of what's driving it. I don't know about you, Adam. I know I don't have cable anymore. Zach, I don't think you have cable anymore.
When I moved down here to Houston, I went ahead and bought an antenna. And what's funny is I have a group chat with my dad, his two brothers, and his best friend.
Yeah.
And we text during the game. So in the group chat, I would react to a play that the Cowboys made. And then 45 seconds later, they would react to the play because I am literally live via antenna, and they are 35 seconds behind at least with streaming. And I was a guy that had both Dish Network and DirecTV and cable in the last 20 years. I don't have any of that anymore. I live in the fourth largest city in America now, or nearby the fourth largest city. So yeah, I can pick up 75 plus channels for the price of an antenna. Why would I pay for that and granted, me being a Cowboys fan, it's a little different than you guys. You guys are Buccaneers fans. So you have to be in the specific market to pick up those games.
Yeah, we're in Atlanta, so I get all the Falcons games.
Yeah, you're getting all the Falcons games, right? So to watch the Bucs, you're going to have to either, now I being a Cowboys fan, we do get a lot of the Eagles and the Giants and the interdivisional games down here. Same thing with Houston and Houston's teams. But if Houston and Dallas, for example, play at the same time for me, I'm getting the Houston and I'm not getting Dallas. It only happens like maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, but it does happen. So in that case, I have to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or a sports bar to watch it if they've got Sunday ticket. To me, it's not worth paying $300 for Sunday ticket or $400 a year on YouTube TV to get Sunday ticket when, for the most part, I can follow my team because they play 7 national games a year, and for the most part they're playing in the afternoon window because Houston plays the early window, so that helps. But if Houston and Dallas are playing the late window, guess what? I'm getting Houston and I'm not getting Dallas. So it is annoying that I have to get. I mean, I think it was last year. Was it last year that Dallas was on the? They had the Thanksgiving Day game. You had the Christmas Day game on Netflix. If you don't have a Peacock subscription, I have Comcast for cable, so I get that included.
I do too.
So I can at least get Peacock, but that's also the station, frankly, that I can pick up the easiest on my antenna. So, it's just.
And you got to have Amazon Prime too.
You got to have Amazon Prime, which luckily my dad has that, so I can,
I've been lucky that when the Buccaneers games have been on Amazon Prime, I've picked up like a 7 days free trial.
Yeah,
and done stuff like that. For me, it's kind of different. Really, the only station I kind of have a problem picking up is ABC of all things. So, but then I got that covered because I get the ESPN app because it's also wrestling. Yeah. Which I have with my Disney Plus subscription. Mm-hmm. So,
all we've done is we've taken basically cable and just atomized it, so to speak, and so to get everything, somebody made the joke. I saw it on Twitter, and I've heard other people make this joke that eventually we're just going to do this. They're going to come out with this newfangled thing and be like, it's basically just cable.
Yeah. I mean, it already is.
I mean, really, you have.
They're already doing that with the bundles. They're doing the bundles. It's basically
cable. I mean, you got the Fox One ESPN bundle. Yeah. They had talked about doing a bundle with everybody but CBS. So it's going to be Fox, Peacock, ABC, and then CBS was going to be the only CBS/Paramount was going to be the only one that wasn't included on it. And I'm like, just for those that are sports fans, do I miss having things like TNT and TBS and stuff like that? Yeah, but basically those became sort of irrelevant. I mean,
a lot of cable has become like, I'm a Toonami fan. I mean, really at this point, especially considering all they do is show a lot of cartoons that I didn't like during the day. The only thing I enjoy is Toonami, and so that's really the only thing I'm missing.
Yeah,
and so it's like
which I'm going to be curious as to what they're going to do in the future with all this mergers and stuff like that, because we know with the I guess Paramount is buying all of the WBD assets, right? Is that So
yes.
I know at one point when it was going to be the Netflix deal, they were going to spin off basically all the cable services into one company, and then Netflix was going to basically just take all the assets of WBD and own all the IP essentially. But then now with the Paramount takeover,
I mean, I still think that the Netflix deal would have been better, especially as an animation fan. Especially, I thought Netflix would have handled breathe new life into the animation process for Cartoon Network and a lot of things.
I don't disagree on that. To me, the most ideal thing would have been Warner Brothers not to sell at all for the consumer. I think they should have been able to stand on their own 2 feet, but that's basically all that Zaslav was doing.
He was doing that from the beginning. He had no intention. He was just going to sell it off. How long did he have it for? Like 6 years, 7 years?
Less than that.
Like 4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah,
that's the classic private equity thing. Is like you just get something for 5 to 6 years and then sell it off for a profit.
Well, and
streamline it
down.
The whole AT&T Warner Brother thing, I think, was as bad as the AOL merger. Talking with a friend of ours who still does freelance work for DC and was around during that period of time because he was doing stuff for the DC app and stuff like that. He told me, he goes, the AT&T people didn't have any idea what they were doing whatsoever.
Yep.
And they didn't like what you have creative people coming together in the same room as tech people. It's not going to work. They have 2 different mindsets.
Can we just agree that tech people never have any good idea of what to do, no matter what, whether it be?
I disagree on that, because here's the thing. I mean, the platform we're using right now to stream this, right? I mean, that was created to fill the void of Google Hangouts, right? So I'm not saying that I think to just sit there and paint all tech people is just inherently bad, is to paint with too much of a brush.
Okay. But at the same time, I would also sit there and say that there has been an influx of a lot of tech people embracing the private equity and sort of the vulture capitalism type of idea with, buying systems. And again, I think it's hurting the consumer as far as their ability to watch things and how it's driving the price up and making things unaffordable more than anything.
And you're paying more, and you're getting more ads still, unless you want to pay for the premium.
Exactly.
That's where I've kind of been frustrated. Is that if I'm paying $20 a month for an asset, like, I don't know, YouTube, and first of all, I remember when premium was $10 a month, and no ads, didn't have to worry about any of that, and then now it's almost $21 a month. It just keeps going up, and
you still get ads. And I'll put it this way: like, I don't pay YouTube. I do have the free. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I'll get abs. I wish I had abs. I'd get ads.
You have abs somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, and all the rolls of fat.
It's 9 o'clock.
Sorry.
Okay,
that's my.
I'm like, okay, now the tech bros are listening on us. Crap! What am I gonna do?
Oh, that's the setting I have.
No, but I was gonna sit there and say, so I know I'm gonna get ads. For me to get ads every minute, so that a 5-minute video takes me a half hour to watch, right? It's ridiculous.
Oh, you saw this recently with the Watch Mojo thing.
Yeah,
where after they would do a top 10 list, and after every single spot, they would insert an ad, number 10, and then they would tell you what it is, and then all of a sudden, go from there.
I would like to see the Watch Mojo of the top 10 ads to interject before an ad.
Some of the streaming services like HBO Max, they won't even put the ad in the right spot. So they'll cut it off, they'll cut off the show, even when they're showing a show, like my daughters and I have been watching Superman and Lois, and they'll cut off at least 5 seconds before the commercial break's supposed to happen. And then you have the ad, which when HBO Max has the same 3 ads over and over again, especially if we're on the kids account.
Yeah.
And it'll sit there and then you come back from the commercial and you see the last 3 seconds or 5 seconds of the show that you missed of the cliffhanger. You're like, oh, okay, that's what was happening there. Okay.
At least when I've watched, I was watching Big Bang Theory the other day because that's one of my guilty pleasures. And
it's fun show. I like it.
And I've been doing it, and I don't see. I'm weird. I don't binge watch a lot. I watch something live. Or I'll, back when I had a DVR or DVR, and I could DVR because I got what's called a Tableau, to where I can pause and record live TV. It's like $100 for. Well, I didn't buy it, but it's like $100 puck, and it literally looks like this. And you connect your internet and your antenna to it, and you can watch live TV and be able to record it. Well, before that, I'm one of those that I like to watch it the week of. I am inherently old school when it comes to this. I would watch it, and then I try to watch it within that week. I'm not one of those that sits there and wants to sit down and watch 4 episodes at a time. It's just not me.
I don't either. We like to watch 2 or maybe 3, maybe. But usually 1 or 2 episodes at a time. It's just too much. Just sit there all day.
Yeah. And okay, X-Men 97. I think the first 2 episodes are coming out.
3.
The first 3 episodes. Oh, great. So
they're doing that. They're doing that because there's 3 timelines, and so that way the first week you'll see all 3 timelines: the future, past, and the present.
Got you. Well, that makes more sense. Which I'm super stoked for X-Men 97.
Oh, it looks awesome.
It looks great. Almost as much as I'm stoked for Brand New Day. But anyway, all right. So World Cup. What are our thoughts?
Yeah, I was about to add, what are we talking about? World Cups?
Yeah, I know. We went on a wild ass tangent. So World Cup. Go, Adam. What do you think?
Argentina all the way, man. My wife's family's from Argentina. We watched every game. Messi is amazing. He now has the record for the most goals ever scored in World Cups. He's 38 or 39 years old now.
Yeah, this is
his last one. But he's scored until last night. I think he scored every one of the goals for Argentina so far. So we're definitely into Argentina and the U.S. That's the games we were watching.
Yeah, man.
I was just looking at the. I don't have it in front of me, but I was looking at the group stages, but the way the stages are, who's playing now. Argentina's on the other side with Mexico, right, and Brazil.
Oh man, that's gonna be wild.
Yeah, so the U.S. If the best team, possibly best teams, win their matches, USA's road to get to the finals will have to include going by, I think, Belgium. They'll possibly have to go by Spain, Germany, or France.
Spain, Germany, yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll more than likely face probably either Argentina, Brazil, or Mexico. Those will be the 3 teams.
I've got the bracket up. Okay. So USA plays Bosnia, and they're going to play the winner of
Senegal and Belgium.
Yeah. So whoever wins there, and then on the other side of the bracket, if they were to win that, they'll play the winners of either Croatia, Portugal, Spain, or Austria. Which, man, Croatia, Portugal, that's going to be a good game. Listen, Croatia, they're no slouches when it comes to soccer. So whoever wins there, and then that's going to get them to the semifinal, the quarterfinals. Or I'm sorry, the round of 16. Yeah. No, quarterfinals. I was right. So it's gonna be fun. And then I look at the other side of the bracket. You got Germany and Paraguay, France and Sweden. Canada's already moved on to the round of 16, which awesome.
I'm actually interested in the Japan-Brazil game.
Man, that's gonna be fun.
It is.
That one's gonna be fun. Ivory Coast and Norway, Ecuador. Okay. Does England beat the Congo? Like,
I'm gonna say no. If for nothing else, because I cannot wait to see the English melt down.
Oh God, they will lose their minds.
Have you heard some of the chants they've been doing?
I was in England. I was in England when I was right after I graduated high school. I went to England on a free trip. It was awesome because my friend, his mom worked for U.S. Air and his family was from England, so we got to stay there for free. And it was 98 when England got to the finals against France. And so then I was watching the final game, England versus France, at a pub in England, and they lost. And those were the angriest Brits you could ever see. It was wild.
Yeah, no, especially to lose to the French,
to the French especially,
to the French,
like to the
French, bloody bunch of frogs. They're terrible. Can't believe it.
We invented soccer and football. I mean,
like I said, the English have made some very interesting chants. One in particular that I'm very fond of, but I will not mention it here on the air.
Yeah, let's not. So, all right, let's just fill out a bracket. Let's just do that, just because for grins and kicks and why not?
Shits and giggles.
For the shits and giggles.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go with ESPN Knockout Bracket Challenge, not a sponsor. All right, so who do we think? Germany, Paraguay first.
Germany.
Okay. Oh,
Germany has constantly been one of the best teams past couple decades.
Okay. How do I?
Yeah, they were against Argentina in the finals last go round.
Yeah.
Is it unable to?
Is it not clickable?
I guess
Technology. There's those tech bros. They messed you up.
Oh, yep. Why? It's probably locked because the Canadians have already won.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Well, we'll just keep track.
Hang on. Let's just make a World Cup bracket.
Live podcasting is awesome, folks.
Soccer. Okay. All right. FIFA Play Zone. Let's just do it that way.
You want to go back and try this again, there, Sid Vicious?
Shut up. All right. Play now. Okay.
Gerard, by the way, will love that joke.
Right. I understand that reference. All right. So, bracket challenge. There we go. Core bracket.
Man, it makes you click through a lot of.
It's
pages.
FIFA. I mean,
click here. Give away your
information.
Release your information. It's your soul.
See more ads as you click on every page.
Yep.
Okay. Well, bracket match predictor. This is what happens when you don't
plan
prepare.
things. No.
Prepare. Be prepared. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. I just want to freaking make a damn bracket. Why is it so hard?
Life
Y'all know
is hard.
Well, all right.
Life is hard, and then you die.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe.
Oh,
No.
no.
It just keeps taking me back to the same menu.
You shall not pick.
Submit your bracket. Go to submit your bracket.
Okay, where's it at? Oh,
maybe that's it.
nope. It won't let me click.
It's not clickable.
It's not clickable. All right. Predict the group and knockout stages. All right. Second chance. Yeah, I want to make a new one. Predictions for this game are now closed. I wasn't reading. Damn it.
Let's just go back to the other one. We'll keep track. We'll write down on paper what we picked. We picked Germany for the first one.
All right, so let's just. All right, make a new World Cup bracket. Okay. Create your own bracket. All right.
There we go.
There we go.
Well, that doesn't look like the other one exactly,
But who at this point?
That,
I don't care about the group stage. There we go. So we know. All right, just tell me who got through the group stage. Group A was Mexico.
Mexico and South Africa.
Yeah, skip ahead. Okay. All right. Now we're in the knockout rounds.
Well, no,
there we go.
Not
there
right.
All right, so
not
we said
right
Germany.
Because Germany did not beat Canada.
I'm gonna say France. Oh,
what the hell?
Yeah, it just did it automatically. Let's just go back to the first picture, and we'll just keep track of who we picked.
Okay, all right. Let's just let me share this tab.
You know, we're making this complicated.
Technology has failed us.
Yes.
All right, Germany. I think we think that they're going to go on France and Sweden. Who do we think? France. Man, that's
France.
Yeah. What a round of 16 matchup. Germany and France. So we know the Canadians are moving on. I think Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands versus Monaco. Yeah, Netherlands.
Yeah, Netherlands.
Let's see. Portugal, Croatia.
Croatia.
I'm gonna go with Portugal.
Okay. So we'll do best two out of if we have a split, then I'll be the tie-breaking vote. I think I'm torn on this, but I'm going to go with Croatia. So,
okay.
All right, Croatia moves on. Spain and Austria.
I'm going to say Spain.
Spain.
All right, USA versus Bosnia.
I'll just go U.S.
We're going to be homers.
U.S.
USA. Belgium and Senegal. I think the Belgium's going to win it.
Belgium.
Brazil.
Japan.
Oof.
Brazil and Japan. I'm going to go with Japan for the upset.
Okay. So I'm going with Brazil too. Just because, but I wouldn't be surprised. That would be one that I wouldn't be surprised the Japanese won.
Not that I'm being like a sort of quasi-homer picking Japan. I would never do that.
Not you. Ivory Coast and Norway.
I'm going to go with the Viking row for the win, Norway.
Okay, Norway, fine.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Mexico. England. Argentina.
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah. Switzerland.
And Colombia. I'll go Colombia.
And I don't know. Algeria might go through, but yeah, we'll do Switzerland and Colombia. So all right. Switzerland, Colombia, of those two.
I'm gonna go with
Colombia.
I'll go Colombia.
Okay. Argentina, Australia.
Argentina.
Yeah, we kind of they're kind of they have to be the favorite at this point. England, Mexico. Brazil and Norway.
Brazil.
All right.
I'm almost always going to go Spanish speaking. Like they're just always going to win.
All right.
There's a Robin Williams joke there somewhere.
But Belgium and USA.
I'm going USA. Let's do it.
Okay, so they're gonna. So
I don't know if I really believe that's going to happen, but
we think they'll get to the quarterfinals. That'd be the furthest that they've been in a long time. So
yeah.
Spain,
Portugal, and Spain, and I'm going with Spain.
Spain.
All right,
it's a bigger country.
We think USA and Spain, right?
Yep.
And then we've got Netherlands versus the Canadians.
I'm gonna go with the Netherlands.
Netherlands, I think.
Okay. And then Germany and France.
Germany.
Yeah, Germany. I'm gonna go with Germany too.
Okay, so we got Netherlands, Germany there. So we're getting Germany's going to get to the quarterfinals.
Germany's going to finals.
Yeah. Quarterfinals. Okay. Yeah. We've got.
Well, we said they were winning that one, so that would be the finals. They go to the finals, right?
Yeah. No, that's the.
Oh, that's only the quarterfinals there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, quarterfinals.
Right.
So we're in the round of we're now in the round of 16. So it's the U.S. versus the Spanish.
Spain, probably.
Well, I will sit there and say
I'd like U.S. to win.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I don't think we're saying Spain so far, but I don't think Spain is as strong as it's been in past years. And I think if the U.S. plays to its potential, they can win. So I'm going to go with the U.S.
Let's be homers. Why not? Let's get them to the
Okay, go ahead. Spain did draw against, who was it they drew against in the first game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's the thing. Like they drew against.
They're not as strong as they normally are.
Yeah.
Historically. So we've got Brazil and Mexico at this point.
Brazil and Mexico. I'm going to go with Mexico.
Brazil, maybe.
Who?
I'm going to go with the Portuguese-speaking one there.
I'm going to go with Brazil. Oh, God. What are we doing? I accidentally right-clicked. All right. So we've got Brazil. I've got Brazil going.
Okay.
And then we've got basically Brazil, Argentina, which that should be a hell of a game in the quarterfinal. So Argentina, we're gonna put them in the
finals.
In the finals, which honestly, so okay, I don't really care. Okay, so in the quarters we had the U.S. and who else?
Germany.
Man, to be in the Final Four,
that would be an accomplishment.
It would be an accomplishment.
A huge accomplishment for the U.S.
I don't see them beating Germany.
I don't see them beating Germany either, and I think it's going to be Germany, Argentina, then.
I will.
So it's a repeat of 4 years ago, basically.
Basically, repeat of 4 years ago. And does that mean that we have the Mexicans in the U.S. in the third place match?
That'd be awesome.
That would be
no. No, you picked Brazil, so it'd be Brazil in the U.S.
Brazil in the U.S.
That'll still be wild.
Awesome.
It will. I do want to sit there and say this: if this all goes the way and we meet Germany and we beat them, I think at that point the U.S. has to be the favorite to win.
100%.
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. First of all, if the U.S. gets not only through the first, I think we're pretty confident they'll get through the round of 32 and get to the round of 16. If they can get to the quarterfinals, that's the furthest that they've been since 1930. So that's a huge accomplishment for Team USA. But
yeah, for once the men will actually start getting close to where the women are.
The women have been just steamrolling through. And then, gosh, if they can get to the semis, that's like the perfect scenario.
Why do you think the U.S. women's team has been so much more successful? Do you think it's because in the U.S. it's more popular with females than soccer is than males, and also there's so many other sports that males go into?
I think that's it. I think it's the in terms of the male sports, there's so many options for males that don't exist.
But I also think it's some other things. Another one of it is they really started the women's program back in there's a great documentary on it about really back in the 80s, and they really built it up, and they built up national talent. And so they have this national program for cultivating U.S. women's talent that just feeds into the national team and makes it the top team.
Well, also
it also helps that we have Title IX, and
Title IX makes a lot of colleges don't have male soccer teams because of Title IX, because they spent so many of their slots on football and basketball, especially football. Football takes so much that you can't have.
So I think that's the reason. I think that women in the U.S. have opportunities in soccer that just doesn't exist in other parts of the world.
But I was going to also bring up the men's national prospects have been had to slowly build up over time because they weren't really paying attention to male prospects as far as U.S. soccer players.
Well,
it's particularly after 2002, it really started to pick up. So you had that. And then, what was the other part I was going to make? And so
it was Major League Soccer.
Major League Soccer, and
when did it start?
It started in the early 90s.
Yeah, 91.
Yeah.
But it didn't really get very popular into the early 2000s.
Really? Yeah. I mean,
really until about
Was it
2002.
when Beckham came over at some point?
I think that made a huge difference. I think
it became popular. It started getting popular before that, and that's what caused Beckham to want to come over.
That
there
and
was
a lot of cash.
in particular, in particular, I remember. Oh God, Spideydude. If you guys remember, he was this 18-year-old American phenom that had been on the DC United around 2000. And so, like, he really started how, like, he was a phenom that, like, was getting Americans more into soccer. Yeah, the thing I was going to bring up also about women was, because you had that built on the national team and that national stage, that has also inspired a lot more women to get into soccer as well. So it's just fed off of itself.
Yeah, success feeds on the success. Everyone's inspired.
Like softball, in the Olympics, women's softball in the Olympics. I mean, the fact is, the reason that they took it away is because the U.S. was so good that it was basically the U.S. and Canada every time, and maybe Japan, that the Olympics were like, oh no, it's really not that big of a global sport. We got to be so good at it. Whereas I think you're starting to see other countries like Japan, some of the Western, countries as well. But you're not seeing
Japan loves baseball and softball.
Absolutely. So, and we're seeing the benefits of it with Shohei coming over to the Dodgers and stuff like that. So I think that's it's nice to see that the U.S. is even, like, to me, I just hope that they would be relevant. So the fact that they're even relevant in this right now.
Cue the Robin Williams bit about Team USA for Live on Broadway.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup NHL.
Do we have to?
I can't speak to much. I don't know. I don't follow hockey at all.
So we know that the Hurricanes finally won the cup.
30 posts. 30 goddamn posts. That's how many posts the Lightning hit in their series against the Canadiens.
Yeah, I know. So, look, I mean, the Stars were right up there, and then they crapped the bit. But I got to say, at least with the NHL, it's the most unpredictable playoffs of any.
It is. And that's what makes it exciting and fun to watch. Again, to hell with Stephen A. Smith. He can go eat a giant bag of dicks. It is the most difficult, difficult playoff system to win and be a part.
To me, it is a stinging indictment, in my opinion, that they have that because the NHL for so long at ESPN was such an afterthought that they let it atrophy as bad as it did, and didn't go out and acquire. But they turn around and they get the rights from Comcast NBC. And instead of going and getting some of that talent from there to come in and really round out, they just stick Stephen A. Smith on it. And it's bad enough I have to listen to Stephen A. Smith with his NFL takes.
This man knows nothing about hockey.
That would be... That would be the equivalent of me being put in there and saying, okay, go be a hockey expert.
Like, I was generally accepting of Stephen A. Smith for years, but when he celebrated the Lightning not getting the third cup in a row, and saying, this proves that they're frauds, after they won that marathon of the COVID playoffs, and then the shortened season, and won that one, and then made it all the way back to the Stanley Cup for a third time. Yeah, that pissed me off just a little bit. And just my memories of ESPN hockey, because before I was a Lightning fan, I was a Ranger fan, and I was a fan of all New York teams. And I remember watching the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs with the Rangers. Right. And I can quote verbatim, minutes of that game with John Davidson and Gary Thorne calling that game. To me, him called Mike Richter's where he reached out and reached behind him to like try to stop the puck, and it went off the tip of his glove and then off the post. And you have Gary going, "Oh, what a save! An absolutely amazing save by Mike Richter! He reached behind him with his glove. Mike Richter, did he save the Stanley Cup for the New York Rangers?" Just, and then we have what we have now. So,
yeah, I know. So we have the NBA. They just wrapped up their season as well. The next one.
Thanks to Danhausen.
I'm a big San Antonio fan.
I've always my dad's always had a soft spot for San Antonio. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, so like that's their heated rival is the Spurs. But
yes,
after the malpractice that occurred with the Mavericks last year, and the self-immobilized, I don't get it.
Let's get rid of all our best players. That's a good idea.
Well.
By the way, thank you for Jalen Brunson. By the way,
like,
to let him walk for
him and Luka in that picture. Weren't they drafted the same year?
They were drafted in the same draft. You had them both. You went to the finals with both, and then you literally. I mean, this is the crap that just irritates me about the NBA. The Lakers always have to have a superstar. And so the problem is now even the belief that it might be rigged is out there. The reasonable doubt that it was done to better the team, which no. How much money did Nico Harrison get from Nike to trade Luka for a busted up Anthony Davis and a cup and one draft first round pick? Like it was a bucket of bolts, man. Like that's the equivalent of trading a Corvette for a Ford Pinto. I mean, nothing against Anthony Davis, but
can I make you Texas fans feel better? Look, it was inevitable that the Knicks were going to win. We had the power of Danhausen and the Wu-Tang Clan on our side, okay?
Well, I think the two reasons the Knicks won is A, because they did so well in the early rounds and they didn't play nearly as many games. And then B,
they were well rested.
And B, they're just a more experienced, more physical team.
And let's be real.
And Jalen Brunson is him.
He's amazing.
He's him.
He's the fourth quarter man. He just comes on fire every fourth quarter.
The problem is, and I'll say this about Jalen Brunson, he couldn't be what he is now, staying in Dallas.
You're right. Yeah,
him going because he was always going to be one A or 1B to Luka, and until Luka could figure out how to navigate that. That's why the reason that the Mavericks won the year that they did win with Dirk.
Simultaneous bottles of water just now. I'm like, oh, you're doing it at the exact same time.
Was because you had Dirk and a bunch of really, really exceptional role players. Brunson could have been a role player, but he really is a star, and
no,
he gets to be a star in and I am happy for him. I do also hate the politicians trying to like glum on it. I'm like, Mondami's like, I'm a huge Knicks fan. I'm like, dude, you've been in New York for like 10 minutes. Like,
but all politicians do that. So it's like,
I know
that's what their job.
I know it's just like
just made me roll my eyes. Anyway, because like, look, same thing if it had been the Dallas mayor that had been there for 5 minutes and been like,
yeah,
bro. I mean, at least Chris Christie being a Cowboys fan, at least he's consistent with it, even though he gets booed out of the building every time when he was governor. But like, I'm happy for Knicks fans because they've been long suffering, So like, and I will say this: the NBA, since really, I mean, the last 9 years, there's been a different champion.
Yeah,
that is like.
That is parody right there.
That is incredible parody because before that, like just in the Western Conference, it was 3 teams. It was San Antonio, Dallas, and the Lakers.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was it. So
and before that, it was
and the Golden State Warriors
and Bulls and the Rockets, and then
Yeah.
before that, it was the Celtics and Pistons and the Lakers. I mean, it's just,
it was only a handful.
And then before that, it was New York Knicks.
Yeah. So like,
but that was going back to the 70s.
Yeah.
So.
You know, and obviously Boston being Boston, you know.
Yeah. So but just to bring a couple things, like, you know, again though, you knew when they came back and they won Game 4. You know, it was over. It was over. Like the nail was in the coffin, and that comeback was so. And like they came back throughout the finals, but that one in particular.
Yeah, that one they came back in the last 10 seconds. They took the lead at like 10 seconds left.
That may go down as one of the greatest NBA games of all time, and I don't think that's speaking on hyperbole.
I'm going to say one of the worst, but that's just me.
Understand.
What it showed is that the Spurs were so focused on beating OKC.
They thought they were going. They thought that if they beat OKC, they'd win the finals.
That it was kind of like, you know, how it used to use a Cowboys reference. It was like beating the 49ers in the championship game. If we beat them, then we could beat whoever was going to be in the AFC side the next game. And I think that was the same mentality. I don't know what Fox was doing.
Fox, he had early in the playoffs, he had a sprained ankle, and then he rested, got better, but he never got a shot back. Like the weird thing is with a sprained ankle, you'd think he would not be able to like make moves and everything like that. Yeah. He had his moves. He was getting open. He just missed everything. He was bricking every time. Yeah. And then they kept keeping him in. That was the biggest mistake of the playoffs. Why are you keeping him in?
In my opinion, it would have that series would have gone 7 if Popovich had been healthy and not had the stroke and been coaching on the sidelines. I just don't think that they would have had that happen.
No, you got to sit a guy that's throwing up bricks. You know, he literally made every 6th shot or something. It was
insane, which allowed things to happen, like the Knicks to come back as many times as they did.
Yeah, so, I mean, they should have put again Florida State. They should put Vassell in more. He was one of the only consistent shooters on the team at that point. And Champagny. I mean, and then the other thing. So, I'll say this: I was loving watching these playoffs because, you know, the Spurs haven't been good in a long time. And you know, I've always been a huge Spurs fan because I have a lot of family in San Antonio, and I've loved them since the 90s. So like David Robinson, and then Tim Duncan came in, and like
the Fiesta Spurs.
Yes, I love it. And then we had this lull. Like actually I actually saw him play. They came here in Atlanta. It was, I think, Tim Duncan's last year. And got to see him in person play. It was pretty cool. But then since then they've been nothing. I mean, Vassell got drafted like 5 years ago, and he was like the main star. It's like he's a great player, but I don't think he can carry the team. So they got Wemby finally, and Wemby is going to be amazing, and he's already pretty amazing, but he needs to keep putting on muscle because he looks like a stick figure out there.
That man is tiny.
He's spindly, but he's not as spindly as he used to be. Every year you look at him, look at different photos from previous years. When he was drafted, he was like literally like spaghetti. Mm-hmm. Now he's got a little bit of, he's got some roundness around some of his muscle. I mean, so he's getting a little bit bigger. If he can get bigger and stronger, he doesn't get taller. He needs to get thicker. And if you look thicker.
You need to feed him some of that Texas barbecue that everybody's like.
I'm sure he's
blazing about in World Cup.
The amount
he also in the off season he did he studied with the Shaolin monks or something.
The amount of Tex-Mex that man is probably eating at this point in San Antonio is massive. But it reminds me. He reminds me a lot of simply how he's built. Like
Sean Bradley.
Not Sean Bradley. The guy that was he was in New York with the Knicks. He won a title with Boston. He was in Dallas. also kid from Europe. What's this guy's name? He's 7'5" or 7'3" or something like that. Real thin. Always got hurt though. Very similar skill set. He could shoot the. Dirk kind of created the stretch four, right? Yeah. Where you could not only play in the paint but really make a lot of damage. Shooting the three. And Wemby, I think, is even better because the one thing I'll say about LeBron is a big man that has the skills to pass the ball the way he does. All due respect to LeBron, he's not the greatest of all time. I think the three of us on this call can all agree on that. I think he's the best of his generation, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's the best of his generation.
Best of his generation.
But
he's behind Jordan in championships, in scoring, and in good Space Jams.
Well, and Jordan arguably is one of the best shooters of his era, and LeBron,
best defenders.
And LeBron is not. I mean, the best pure shooter of his era of LeBron's era has to be Steph Curry. I mean, the amount of shots that man could do and the shot creation that he could do in an era, But that's
it's changed the game. I mean, people are shooting more threes than ever in history. It's amazing, and people make them a lot more than it's.
I mean, you don't even have Caitlin Clark, I don't think, without Steph Curry.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Because of her ability to shoot the three and be a shot creator. Now, I am so tired of flopping between soccer and now the NBA and the WNBA. I'm so sick of the flopping crap. I mean, they're gonna get the Comets back here in Houston, so that's been like a big thing. Kind of curious. I guess they're gonna play at the Toyota Center here. We're dealing with Durant down here.
I should be an Oklahoma fan because my parents went to Oklahoma, so I'm a Sooners fan, but I'm not a Thunder fan. I can't stand them. I can't. They're just a bunch of floppy.
Oh, listen.
I just can't take it.
I have a soft spot for the Thunder. I've been to Oklahoma City multiple times. I
was born in Oklahoma, actually.
Oh, that's what's wrong with you. Anyway.
I saw that coming a mile away. I wish I would have held the sign up that says "Don't take the bait."
No.
I moved to Florida when I was 3, though, so mostly Florida.
You got to Florida as fast as you could. I mean, you're in the free state of Florida. It's fine. So
God help me, please.
I got Thomas on that one. But no, listen, I grew up going to Oklahoma City. I remember when they were planning Bricktown and planning the revitalization of the downtown area. I know what the Thunder means to that city.
Oh yeah.
Now my friend of the show, Paul Herman, who is diehard Seattle person, hates the Thunder for obvious reasons. Was so mad when they won last year, like so mad. And I was like, dude, I get it, but like it's kind of like if the Titans had won the Super Bowl the year that they had went to and played the Rams, like that would have been the equivalent, for Houston. I mean, we know they're doing the expansion. I mean, I just don't know where they're gonna. What's the other team? They're gonna add 2 more teams.
All I have to sit there and say is that when the NBA does announce the expansion of Seattle, don't have Elijah and Kevin Owens announce it.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about that one.
For those playing the home, can I explain for those playing the home game?
While you're doing that, I'm going to go grab my drink from my coffee table.
So this was an intersection of my professional wrestling fandom and sports here. About a decade ago, wrestling between Kevin Owens and Elijah, they were Raw. Monday Night Raw was emanating from Seattle, and they were doing a segment, and they made a mention about how the city sucks so bad. That's why the Seattle Supersonics moved to Oklahoma. And the amount of boos, loud, and vitriol that they got just for saying that.
That was what they call nuclear level heat.
Yes. Supersonics need to come back. I mean, they were something, man. And then Seattle loved them.
And
yes, as was proven by that segment, that they needed a police escort out of the building.
Yeah. That was. Oh man, it was funny, but it was like that was before I knew Paul like I do now. So now I would just feel bad. Let's be real. The night of the Super Bowl, I texted him and I was like so happy for him. When they played that US game in Seattle, I was like, they could not have picked a better place to play that game. Because I mean, the only other place that would have been comparable was KC.
Yeah.
But that's where the final should have been. If it wasn't going to be in Dallas, it should have been in Seattle.
I would have said Seattle, Portland. Like really all the stadiums on the West Coast, Seattle, Portland.
I mean the best stadium in the NFL I think is SoFi, as much as that pains me to say. But because I've always disliked the whole the LA thing. And it's not even because of the Rams. Like that one made sense. The Chargers moving to LA, I think, is still the stupidest decision.
It is. They should stay in San Diego. I don't know why they allowed them.
Oh, well, it was because of here's what happened. So they put this ballot initiative in San Diego. It had to pass with like 60% of the vote for the city of San Diego to approve it. And it was not just going to be a new football stadium. It was going to be an expansion and a renovation of the convention center where San Diego Comic-Con is.
Yeah.
Basically, they were going to utilize the stadium, practice facilities, and redo the whole convention. And it failed by like 58% of the vote. A majority of people in San Diego wanted it. But
lost by 2%.
But it lost by 2%. It was absurd. And in my opinion, Arlington is the classic example with the Cowboys. They paid back their portion of the taxpayer side a decade early. So they saved like $175 million.
Do the taxpayers get interest on that loan?
Yeah. But by paying it back, because the loan was supposed to, with interest, was supposed to hit, I think, 2040. And they paid it off like 3 years ago. Now, granted, there's been this whole bugaboo last year in Arlington because it's supposed to sunset the half-cent tax increase that they had made. Well, basically, they just extended it, and they're going to renovate the outside of AT&T in terms of like more outdoor areas and stuff like that. And then we don't know the interior portion of the renovations for AT&T. Part of it was to also pay for the World Cup, which, by the way, another aside on the World Cup, NFL, you've proven now that you can have grass fields in these stadiums. Just freaking do it at this point.
Yeah, no more turf. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It causes more injuries than anything.
If the players' union was worth their freaking salt, and Thomas knows how I feel about unions, but
sadly,
if that union was worth its salt, that's a hill that I would say, fine, you want to make us play another 18th game, you better give us more players and you better give us grass. Period. And just be done with it. And that's your leverage.
Yeah.
We'll give you the 18th game. You give us more players, make the
game is the Super Bowl going to get pushed into friggin' April?
No. Well, no, what it will be
they're going to start. They're going to push back.
It's going to be the final week of February, likely. If they do the 18th game, it'll be the final week of February. They'll have, instead of one bye week, they'll have two.
But I also think part of it is also they're thinking about cutting a preseason game if they haven't
That's
already.
a good idea. Preseason. I don't watch preseason. It's just
Well,
late.
here's the problem that I have with preseason / why we need preseason.
I'm not saying we don't need preseason. I'm just saying
I don't think you should cut a preseason game. I think having 2 preseason games is fine. Because for those, like, by eliminating that third preseason game, it kind of screwed over the players a little bit.
But we have 4 preseason games.
No, we only have 3.
We only have 3 now? I remember there used to be 4.
There used to be 4, and there is 4 if you're playing in the Hall of Fame game.
Okay.
But so if they cut it down to 2, I'm fine with that. 3rd if you do the Hall of Fame game, because I don't think eliminating the Hall of Fame game is.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
By the way, I have a whole other Hall of Fame rant, but see, Adam and Thomas have been in my group chat, so they've heard my rants about some of these things for the last 2 years. But you, the dear listener, dear viewer, have not had all these rants, so guess what? You're getting them on the show. Speaking
God help us.
Speaking of, so let's talk NFL right quick.
Yeah.
Or do we want to get into college football and we can talk about Brendan Sorsby? Oh wait.
Let's not and say we did.
Listen, I as a Texas Tech fan, I wasn't in love with that situation to begin with because I felt like we already had a replacement on the roster.
Yeah, they just ruined their entire reputation, turned all of college football against them.
Yeah,
I think here's my thing. Cincinnati had no problem with any of that until he left. Think about it. They had full knowledge that he had done what he did. But Texas Tech's PR was a nightmare. The best thing they could have done was shut up. And I say this as a diehard, been a Texas Tech fan literally since I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, they could have shut up and just let it go through the legal process and see what happened.
Yeah.
And if they won, and then they could have benefited and be like, all right, we're keeping them, whatever. Well, they did technically win because they judge shopped, but
Yeah.
Which again, this is where the failure of the NCAA is just glaring at this point.
The NCAA is balls. They have no balls.
Well,
they're just
they went from
they've
being
been neutered completely.
And that was why they fought against NIL for so long, because all of their power and control was purely based on fear. And especially after the death penalty to SMU, they've been completely neutered.
Yep.
And
by lawsuits mostly.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm sorry, but on one hand, if I'm a player, if I was in Brendan Sorsby's shoes, I would have done the same damn thing.
Well, yeah, but maybe don't bet on a bunch of games when you're.
Now, I would never have bet on my own team, and I wouldn't have bet at all. That part, I would not have done.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting at risk. What is he making in NIL, or what was he making? $1 million?
He was making $4 million from Texas Tech.
$4 million.
Yeah, I mean,
he put all that risk to bet, and he could have just got away. Never done that.
I will say the one thing about NIL that it's done. Everybody was so worried about the blue blood programs being able to just pay for their own players. What it has done truly is the mid-level players, the mid-level teams have all gotten better.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of neutered the FCS significantly, because now, and so that's why you're seeing less and less in the NFL, the small school kid being plucked from obscurity. Because if I am a talent,
they're going to be plucked during college now.
They're getting plucked during college, and they're going to go to one of the Power 5 conferences, Power 4 conferences.
Yeah.
Which I am pulling for the Pac-12. I am. I hope that they can make it work.
Here's the thing: NIL should have happened a long time ago.
People,
yes,
those players are putting their bodies on the line, and then they're playing for coaches that are making millions of dollars, playing for universities that are making tens or hundreds of millions of dollars.
On them.
You should not be getting in trouble because you signed somebody's shoe and made $50 off it. That's insane.
It was
right.
Absurd.
But you gotta control the transfers.
Yes.
That's the difference. It's like if the NFL, the players get millions of dollars, great. But if they're able to change teams every single year, sometimes multiple times in 1 year, that's just chaos, and there's nothing you need to root for anymore. Like if your team every year is a whole different team, because you can't. Oh great, we got the number one draft, or we got the number one recruiting class.
Yeah.
And then guess what? If they don't all play the first year and you don't pay each one of them $1 million each, they're gone. So you can't develop players anymore.
Yeah, and if they can't develop players and you can't develop camaraderie among the teammates.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the best teams are the ones that have stuck together and, they build a repertoire with each other. Right?
I mean, that's part of what made Indiana successful this last year.
Yes.
And why Miami was as successful as they were. Kind of came out of nowhere. But to me, there's plenty of things we can do. Number one, keeping the transfer portal simple. You can transfer once in 4 years, or if your coach leaves, like it was before, like that was the old rule, right? If your coach decided to go, if you're Lane Kiffin and you go to LSU, then you know what? I should be able to go pick where I want to go. Yeah. I can understand that, especially because part of the recruiting process is that coaching staff.
And when you graduate. So that's really 3 transfers right there. The rest of them, you need to wait a year.
Yeah. Yes. Like to me,
plus you can do exceptions if you're getting abused by your coach or some kind of craziness.
Yeah, if you got like a crazy Jerry Sandusky type situation, 100%. But make a list of commandments, NCAA, and say, listen, this is the transfer process. Listen, they've already successfully got the cap put in place, essentially a quasi salary cap, where you can only spend so much money. Now, granted,
that was a theoretical cap. It's not really happening.
It's not a hard cap.
No one's actually abiding by that.
Well, listen, as a Texas Tech fan, I know we're not.
College booster programs not abiding by the rules.
The teams that actually tried. The teams that thought they needed to abide by that were the teams that failed last year.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, one of them is right here.
Cody Campbell. Yeah. I mean, that man has sold 2 oil companies in the Permian Basin, made billions of dollars, been the absolute terror of the rest of the state of Texas. And I'm like, and everybody's like bitching and moaning about it. I'm like, that the only way you're going to get people to come to Lubbock is by paying them to be there.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Like I have been to A&M's campus. I have been to University of Texas's campus. It's a much nicer part of Texas. Lubbock is not nice. It's not a nice part of Texas. And I love my beloved Panhandle. But comparatively, it's flat with no trees. It's a semi-desert climate. It's not,
and it's filled with tornadoes half the year.
My dad got his master's at Texas Tech.
Really?
He got his both my parents got their bachelor's at OU, but he went to his master's at Texas Tech. But I think he did some schoolwork at Texas A&M for some reason. But I think he finished at Texas Tech. So
yeah, well, I mean, look, College Station's a beautiful campus, beautiful, cute little town. Definitely the little brother of UT.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Baylor, beautiful campus, nice campus. TCU, beautiful campus, nice campus, more urbanized with SMU. I still think it's bizarre that the SMU is playing in the ACC. That's stupid. Like bring back regionalness. And I say this as a Big 12 fan in general. I was pissed off when the Longhorns and OU.
Stanford is an ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, and they're on the Pacific Coast.
Like,
I mean, it's like, doesn't mean anything.
But again, but that was all a process of, the SEC and consolidation and money, and everybody wanted to join the SEC, and it's like, once the ball starts rolling on all of that, it was inevitable.
There's going to be Big Ten and SEC in about 3-4 years might be the only power conferences. They're just going to get the rest of the
I think the ACC
powerful teams and just pick them up. ACC is going to fold and turn into a second tier.
I think the ACC.
Big 12 too.
I think the Big 12 has been very strategic in what who they've acquired, though.
They've been a lot better than the ACC. ACC is picking up.
Yeah, they're picking up the also rans. The ACC is being propped up by let's face it, by Clemson and by Miami and Florida State. Like
financially by Florida State, not by winning anything lately.
Well, but when you think about it, you put Miami and Florida State in the SEC, you put Clemson in the Big Ten. What happens to the rest of the teams? Boston College and stuff like that. They're going to be completely irrelevant.
They're Conference USA.
Yeah, I could see them.
Georgia Tech's pretty good.
Well, but to be fair, again, different schools prop the conference up.
But Georgia Tech can rejoin the SEC without having to pay the fees. I think because they're charter members.
But at the same time, different schools are propping up, the ACC on different sports. Because you got Florida State, Clemson, and Miami for football, but then you've got Duke, North Carolina State with basketball.
I could see Duke going to the Big 12 to maintain the competitiveness in the basketball side of things. I can see North Carolina and Duke.
Notre Dame, they ACC made a big play to get Notre Dame to actually be a full member, and they had an opportunity during COVID where they could have been like, because Notre Dame would have had no one to play, no one. If the ACC could have said, if they were smart, if they actually had some balls, they could have said, you know what, you want to play with our crew during COVID, got to join fully, not just try to have the benefits of being independent.
Oh, well, they
didn't do it.
They are in the ACC for everything but football.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could have made them a full member and that would have actually saved the conference. Like they would be the revenue. The revenue gap between SEC and Big Ten and ACC, it's like $30-40 million a year per school.
Yeah,
that's insane.
It's crazy.
So, but if you bring Notre Dame into the ACC as a full football school, then the ACC, I mean, they would be making the gap would have been made up because the ESPN would be renegotiating that contract, and they would have every school would have benefited.
But also NBC, because like NBC is the one who shows.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They would have been bidding for it. And ESPN would have renegotiated it to up the amount that they're paying.
And the ACC's deal that they made being
is pathetic.
Through 2038 was absurd.
They were just desperate to get their own network because they saw the SEC had their own network. Big Ten or get the network. We got to get one too. You got to sign on until 2038.
You know who started all that? Got to get a network. It was Texas. The Longhorn Network is what caused all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they really thought that it was just, we're just going to make these beneficial for us, and then it became the arms race. Texas, the University of Texas, is one of the reasons that college football is in the state that it's in. And I am so sick and tired of hearing, and I told Texas fans this. I said, enjoy being the fifth most relevant team in your conference in every sport. And the salty ass Longhorns fans that are like, we got to play Alabama. Who does Tech play? You could have been playing that exact same schedule, but you decided to turn tail and leave.
It's 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Siri. I appreciate that. Anyway.
Oklahoma went with them.
Oh, well, because Oklahoma
want to keep the rivalry because they make
Let's keep
money
the
off
rivalry
that.
and make the money off of going to Big Ten
the
and
amount
making
of money they make from the Red River game
Yeah,
is about a third of their revenue.
I mean,
For the-
it's crazy because it's also because it always coincides with the Texas State Fair, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that I wasn't surprised that OU left because there's always been that little brother syndrome with OU. Even more so, what I do love is that A&M and Texas play again. That's to me, that's the silver lining of them going back to the SEC because now they have to play each other.
Yeah.
Because A&M just got in their freaking feelings. Like that's a game. That's one of those games. It's like Florida and Florida State. They should always play.
Yep.
There's certain games, and I say this as a Tech fan. Texas Tech is the third little brother in the state. But A&M and Texas should have been playing this entire time. The fact that they weren't was a crime. Absolute crime. And that's the one thing I will say for Texas fans, like having that game, doing it on the same weekend as Thanksgiving, like that's a game that should always be played. Just like OU and Texas should always be played. In my opinion, OU and OSU, Oklahoma State and OU, the Bedlam game should always be played. But Oklahoma State's in their feelings about it, which I get. I 100% understand. They don't. They are the little brother in that state.
Yeah.
I get it. But now you don't got Captain Mullet as the head coach anymore, so maybe it'll be different. Bundy, I'm a man. I'm 40. When I turn 40, this is not a spoiler. It's a prediction. Thomas appreciates that reference. I will be posting that clip on my birthday because I'll be like, I've been waiting way too long for this because Gerard did the same thing this year because he turned 40 this year.
Are you turning 40 this year?
Next year.
Next year.
I've already turned 40. I turned 40 last year.
I'm 46.
I'm 40.
So when I turn 40, it's going to be I'm a man. I'm 40.
I can wipe my own ass.
Well,
And you just learned.
took me. I've also learned.
Took me 40 years to learn.
Thanks to a bidet. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
give me 40 more years, and somebody will have to do it for me again.
Okay. Right. I'll be wearing my Depends. Anyway, the NFL, the schedules came out from the last time we talked.
Yep.
So I know I got two Buccaneers fans here.
Yep. I have the schedule up for us.
You do have the schedule up. Okay.
Yep.
So we are not opening with the reigning champions because the NFL is becoming greedier and greedier. The poor 49ers have to travel for their first game against the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday night, September 10th on Netflix. The opening night game.
With their with the Los Angeles Rams, brand new quarterback that I'm sure is going to take them to the promised land now.
Man, what a bizarre draft that was. I like now granted that all kind of got washed away with the Myles Garrett trade, which that happened since we've last talked.
Yes.
Which
and the AJ was it AJ Brown or
AJ? Well, Diana Rossini broke that story about 4 months ago, but
just for clarification, we have a sports chat. They will not leave that alone. Okay, everybody in the group will not leave that alone. I will be
good.
Okay. I will get off from work and I will open up my phone and there's 26 messages and it's all memes.
Listen. That's how we show love in 2026. Okay,
that's what you call
it. Listen, some of them are way too good to not. If it's not me, it's Gerard or possibly Andrew, aka Proto Shefty. Okay, so let's talk about the Bucs since I got both of you guys on. What do you guys think about the Bucs schedule? Is it Going to be difficult. How are you feeling about it?
Well, do you want me to do the quick rundown since I have it right here?
I'm pulling it up right now, so I'll get it pulled up here in just a second. Let me get the Bucks up.
Because we start.
The schedule is a schedule. They should have fired their damn coach. Is what they should have done.
I was kind of surprised they didn't.
I mean, when your team falls apart, starts as strong as they did for the first half of the season, and then just completely falls apart. And he's also, and a big part of it was the defense, and he's a defensive-minded coach. They should have fired his ass. Like, I can't believe they didn't.
So you
guys, at the same time, I said this, I think, the last show. I understand why they didn't, because a major part of it was injuries, and there were so many untimely and strange injuries.
There was a lot of injuries and especially the receivers, but still,
Bucky Irving, he had something happened with him. Like, he didn't come back for 5-6 games, and then he got injured again. Like, he's only, I think, is he going to be? If I can't remember if they said he's going to be fine by the time training camp happens or after training camp starts. So, whatever that injury is, but I just think,
so I pulled up the schedule, right?
Yeah.
The Green Bay game, tickets as low for Dallas Green Bay Sunday Night Football as $398.
Okay.
Good God. On ESPN. That's geez. Okay. Anyway, continue.
But
it's getting to be sports is not you can't go to a game for a decent price anymore for almost any sport.
It depends on the game, it depends on the team, it depends on the sport.
Yeah, it also depends on the venue too.
Yeah, and it depends on the owner.
Atlanta is doing it right on concession prices.
Yes.
I have to give them a shout out because the amount of money that we're paying for concessions at the Atlanta field.
And they've been doing that for football games for anything that's there. I went a couple years ago. It was 2021. I went with friends and we went to see the Falcons versus the Bucks, and so I got to go to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And
I almost want to go to a Cowboys-Falcons game when they play there, just to be like, you know what, I'm going to go just for the concession stand.
But I'm just going to run down the schedule real quick. So week 1, we're at the Bengals. That should be fun. Then we have week 2, we're home against the Browns. I'm sure Baker Mayfield will be excited for that one.
The amount now that he doesn't have to face Myles Garrett in that game, I'm sure he's like, I'm just going to light those bastards up.
Week 3, we're at home against.
He's got to face Jared Verse. He's good. Pass rusher.
Not as good as Garrett.
He's not as good.
No, I know, but he's still good. I like. Florida State.
Week 3, we got the Vikings at home. Week 4, the Packers at home. Then week 5, we're at your Cowboys
on Thursday. So that's a short week.
So that will actually be a game I will be watching, and that will be a game where I'm saying, I don't care if I don't win the Super Bowl. Just let me win this game. Just let me win this game.
Beat the Cowboys.
We might be streaming that. Like I might be live watching that.
My whole family is Cowboys fans, and I used to be a Cowboys fan back in the 90s. And then I just couldn't put up with them when they passed over Randy Moss. And then there was a fight in the locker room where somebody stabbed. I think Michael Irvin stabbed somebody with scissors or something. I was like, you know what? I'm done with them now.
It was not in the locker room. It was at a barbershop.
Okay, whatever. Something happened, and I was like, I'm one too many felonies on this team. I'm done. And I haven't looked back.
Yeah. Hey, look, there was a competition.
And they haven't done a damn thing since.
There was a competition with
playoffs, I should say.
Yeah. There was a competition with Dallas to see who could have the most felonies during those teams. Week 6, we have the Steelers at home. Then we go to Carolina to face the Panthers in what I believe is our first divisional game. So our first divisional game happens week 7. Then we have the Falcons at home. We travel to Chicago. Week 10 is our bye, which I think is a good week to have the bye. We then go up to Detroit for the Lions. We then have the Panthers at home. We have the Chargers at home, so we don't necessarily have to travel all the way to the West Coast. That's good. We then go to Baltimore to face the Ravens. Week 15, we have the Saints at home. Week 16, we go to Atlanta for the Falcons. Week 17, we have the Rams at home. And then week 18, we have the Saints, or we go to the Saints on week 18. So I actually like the schedule. We are not having to make any West Coast trips for like the two West Coast teams that we're playing. They have to come to us. So I think that's an advantage.
Mhm.
I think maybe with the exception.
It's weird. All the divisional games are almost all in the second half.
Yeah.
Of the season.
That is strange for once, because like they're usually been like balanced out between the beginning and the back end of the season. I think the NFC North is going to take a step back, to be honest, with maybe the exception of Chicago. Certainly Detroit has had their defense decimated, and especially thanks to us, we took like 2-3 of their players. But yeah, so I think we have a very favorable schedule as far as who we play and who we have to go to play. I think the farthest west we're going to go is Dallas.
Yeah, it's really strange because I'm looking at y'all's schedule, and the last 3 weeks are flex games.
Yeah.
For y'all. And then for Dallas, only week 18 is a flex game, which is kind of weird. But anyway, it's different fan bases too. But
who's going to be the primary receiver now that Evans is gone?
Has to be Godwin, I would think.
I don't know if you can depend on him. He's always injured.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Ibuka is going to take another step up. He has the ability. And I think Godwin has always had more success when he is either been a slot receiver and B, been the second option, right? Like that's where he's always been the best, and that's where he's like made his money. So I think he's going to take the step, and then we're just going to see who will step up as far as the rest of the receiving core. And they have a good wide receiving core. They have a lot of young guys that need to take a step forward. McMillan, it's very sad that he was injured for as much of the last season as he was. After coming off having a very good season before, I think he's going to have the chip on his shoulder to step up. I think Bucky, if he can get healthy, will have a chip on his shoulder to step up. And then, of course, on defense, we have the angriest man in all of the NFL.
Oh, Bane.
Yeah.
God, man, he was. Yeah, that was fun.
I'll tell this quick story. So this past week, I was working drive-through at my job, and somebody came. I was working outside, and the guy came in, and he has a Carolina Panthers hat on it, and I'm like, and I make the joke like, "Sir, this is a Buccaneers restaurant," and he's like, and apparently his passenger, his girlfriend or whatever, was also a Bucs fan, so we were both giving it to him. And so I'm like, good luck with your season facing the angriest man in the NFL. And he goes, "Oh, God, that's right." And he just hung his head. It's like he's a Panthers fan. He knows, like, we're screwed.
Man, the Panthers surprised me last year. And I'm pulling for Rico Dowdle because I thought he got kind of did dirty with Dallas. But, yeah. I think this could be easily a 10-win season for you guys.
Yes.
I don't think Pittsburgh and Minnesota are going to be very hard to beat. I think Carolina probably is going to regress a little bit. New Orleans will be better, but really your biggest opponent is going to be Atlanta. And I think that's going to be kind of difficult for you guys. But, it's going to but that's
and Kyle Pitts, the most worthless tight end wide receiver in all the NFL.
The amount of hate that man gets in our group between you and Evan and me.
The only time he ever shows up and catches a touchdown is against us. Why? And half of those are non-touchdowns that have been given to him by the referees because they don't see that a pylon has been knocked over.
Well. All right. So, yeah, I could easily...
I'm not bitter.
Yeah,
No.
slightly. So, I'm going to share this tab now. It's the Cowboys schedule. So we start at New York on NBC, Sunday Night Football. Of course, we start with the New York Football Giants because that's just like basic tradition. And then we have a home game against the Washington former Native Americans, now the Commanders, at home. We have a home game against the Baltimore Ravens in Rio de Janeiro. So they got to travel all the way down for that.
I mean, you're technically closer.
Yeah,
You don't have to travel as far.
Yeah, that's true. Not
much.
And then you got to go to Houston on the road on the 4th, and I might try to go because I've never been to now Reliant Stadium against it, NRG. I might try to go to that game. It's a noon kickoff. That'd be kind of fun. So, and then we go against then we have the short week against the Bucs. So it's going to be that's a rough kind of schedule. So you're doing a not home game, then a short home game to Houston, and then you're at home on a short week against Tampa Bay. But then you have arguably one of your toughest games of the year against Green Bay at Green Bay, but you're playing it in October. So you kind of have that extra 3-day rest. Then you got to play at Philadelphia on Monday Night Football on ABC, ABC, ESPN.
That'll be a good game.
That'll be a good game. So you got Green Bay on NBC. So after not having a nationally televised game against Houston, you have 3 straight night games. Then you have at home against Arizona, at home against Indianapolis, on the road against Indianapolis, home game against San Francisco, and then you got the Tennessee Oilers coming into town. I'm sorry, the Titans. They just want to be the Oilers and everything else. That's going to be, kind of automatic win. Should be an automatic win. And then you got to play Philly on Thanksgiving, 3:30 slot. You then have to play at Seattle. So, which actually they get an extra day of rest because they're playing the Monday night game. That's arguably one of their toughest games of the year. Bye week. Then the second toughest game of the year is against the Los Angeles Rams. Late show on 325 on CBS. Then you have, I don't know if this will still be in this slot, but at home against Jacksonville on NBC. And then New York at noon at home on Fox. And then the Washington Commanders going to be the flex game. Interesting. I think the Giants will be better. I think Dallas will probably split against Philly and maybe split the Commanders, maybe sweep. I could see them going 3-3 against the division. Baltimore, I don't know how Baltimore is going to be. Houston's going to be a hell of a game because you're going to have that defense is so good. Tampa Bay going to be a tough game because I think that offense is going to be a test for our defense. Green Bay,
still the first half of the year, they'll still be good at that point.
Yeah, Green Bay is going to be a tough game. But then you got Arizona and Indy right before you play San Francisco. Don't know what the 49ers are going to be at that point. I mean, are they going to be practicing to the substation next door still? So you just never know with the Niners. But then you got Tennessee playing, and then you got to play Philly. I don't know if I think Philly's going to regress this year. That's just me. I don't think they're going to be as good. I think the Giants are going to be better. I think the Commanders are going to be better, but I think Philly's going to take a step back, and I think that Dallas is going to have a chance to really take over the NFC.
Yeah, Commanders are going to keep getting better, I think.
I think they were decimated by injuries last year. They've retooled that defense. If Jaden Daniels can stay healthy, which playing at that stadium is no given. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Tough thing. I think because we're playing them so early in the year, they're going to still be trying to get their sea legs. But that last game could be a game for the NFC East. They do play Seattle in the preseason and Arizona in the preseason, which is kind of wild. The only one they don't play in the regular season is going to be against New Orleans. So yeah, tickets for the New Orleans game as low as $10. Look at that
for preseason. Yeah,
for a preseason game against New Orleans. That's how bad New Orleans is expected to be. And then you got the exact opposite. I mean, $400 for the, $237 for Seattle. That's not fair to Jacksonville. I mean, they got to pay for AEW somehow. But yeah, so I think the Cowboys could very well go. I'm going to say 11-5.
And then be eliminated in the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah,
because that's what they do.
They'll win I'll give them a playoff win. But
When's the last time they had a playoff win?
God, was Abe Lincoln still alive then?
No, I think
Was Troy Aikman on the team at that point?
No. Romo had 2.
Romo won like 2.
He won 2, and I think Dax won 2. God, now you got me. The last playoff win for the Dallas.
You know what? The Cowboys are champions of the regular season.
Hang on. Okay, it was during the wild card. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they retired Thomas Brady. That's their last win.
Yes.
I was very conflicted on the Brady years because I really don't like Tom Brady. So that he got us a championship, but I was conflicted on.
He got a championship and he made us a good team. Unfortunately, his ex-wife broke him that last season.
Well, I mean,
it was very obvious. He was not there because he did not expect his wife to leave him.
Yeah,
I've said that before. I'll say it again.
He didn't show up to the training camp, as I understand it.
Yeah.
So I blame his ex-wife for that.
Well, look what happened with Tiger. I mean, you take your ex-wife to Florida and you have an incident that causes you to divorce her. In Tom's case, it was just, I want to go play more football. And she's like, no, you promised me we're retiring. Like, I don't blame her for that. Like, don't sit there and pull a Brett Favre and waffle on retirement.
Well, but I don't believe he necessarily told her I'm retiring as much as, again, the media made it seem like he was retiring, and I think he just retired because he wanted to get them off his back, and then he thought about it some more and I don't want to retire. I want to play. I want to finish out my contract.
Yeah, he wanted to get paid $50 million.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. After taking the amount of pay. Listen, one thing I will say about Thomas Brady, he took a lot less money to make sure that they had the capital to go get the people when he was in New England. The fact that he made as much money in in Tampa Bay as he did, he earned that contract.
He did, and he deserved.
He earned it. He deserved it.
Yeah,
He's a cheater, but he deserved it.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't playing there, Adam.
You got to deflate those balls.
You're not first, you're last. Sorry, I had to do a Ricky Bobby reference. All right, so
you make me like a spider monkey.
Listen, I have seen someone jump on somebody like a spider monkey, and it was awesome and crazy at the same time.
Oh, he's getting his spider monkey.
Sorry. I had a giant pile of pistachio shells, and I was like, it was bothering me. Because the dog came over and was sniffing around. I was like, no, don't touch those. But no. So, yeah, I don't know when we're going to do another one of these. Because we're kind of just waiting until training camp, and then it'll be semi-weekly.
It'll be just us bitching about our fantasy teams. In reality,
our fantasy team.
It'll be me screaming. I'm like, how is every one of my players injured?
Listen, I am just happy that we don't play the Bears. That the Cowboys don't play the Bears this year because I don't want to have to dress up as Spider-Gwen or shave half my beard, and because that was wild.
Put on finger paint like Caleb Williams.
Face paint, yeah. And
No, I mean fingernail. Paint your fingernails like Caleb Williams.
God, no. Speaking of Caleb Williams, prime time. How do you feel about Madden? And we'll go up with that.
I'm not buying it because I can't afford new video games.
Oh, you doing college football instead?
I can't afford that either.
No.
I regret investing in the college football because I got it, and then like Florida State was terrible that year, so just we won 2 games.
I mean, we beat Alabama,
and I'm like, can I just? I was like, can I have the team, the 2023 team, please? Can I just have them? Can I have Jordan Travis before he got his leg broken, please?
Florida.
I said DJ Uyunglele running around, hobbling around.
Let me put it this way: Alabama is the Dallas of college football. So anytime that's the team we beat, I'm happy.
Well, yeah, and then we just lose every other game.
Well, Alabama,
every other significant game, anyway.
Now that Saban's no longer there, because Saban didn't want to play the game, right? Because I mean, let's face it, he probably was paying his players, but he was just all under the table.
Yeah. He was paying.
So, I have played now 25 and 26, and I will be honest.
You talking Madden or college?
College football. Okay. And I've played. I have not bought Madden until like it goes on sale at Christmas.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I buy it. I don't buy it day one. This is the first year, just based on what they've said, that I've considered doing the bundle. Because like this year is like the biggest, like the amount of changes and stuff that they've made to the games and how they are more connected. There's still there's still 2 things that are glaring for me, like utterly glaring, for college football that I want, and it'll be on par with like NCAA 14. And that's full season in high school on Road to Glory and being able to export the
what I really want is to be able to play past teams. I
think that's the other
each team should have their like 4 best years and be able to play with those teams.
That would be fun.
They used to do that in NBA games. You could play like, I'm going to play as the 93 Bulls.
You can still do it on 2K. You could actually you can play as like specific Bulls teams, and you can do like a fantasy draft too.
Yeah.
Where so that it's fun.
And they used to have all-time teams and stuff like that.
I would. That's the thing. If I can get a Florida State team that actually has like Charlie Ward, Jameis Winston, come on.
So they've added a lot of the greats in Ultimate Team. So like RG3, Reggie Bush,
Yeah, but you just get like a random player though, and then you play random games. You can't play them in like a season or anything.
Yeah. So, or you got to earn them like via cards or whatever. I don't play.
Yeah, because that's also
bull crap.
Yeah, that's the whole new thing that all of them are doing are like the card system to where you basically spend money to buy packs and hope you get the card. It's what all games are trying to do. All games are trying to find ways to do microtransactions.
Well, and far be it for EA to stop.
Yeah,
doing microtransactions.
Yeah,
I will say this: the amount of stuff that they've poured into like franchise / my career and stuff like that, it's gotten better. Like, it's been a net positive, I think. Madden was just kind of just coasting along for so long.
Yeah.
And I think that by adding the college football team and them talking to each other and actually doing things, it's actually made both games better. I like the amount of detail that they're doing on the coaching side. Like, you can have more customization on, like, if they come out in this formation, it'll auto shift those defenses. So I'm interested to kind of play with that.
Well, the other thing with having the classic teams on there is that they would make up for the NIL that some of those players missed.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Listen, I am all for, and I think it's going to be more difficult for football because
so many players. So
many players. But if
you at least get all the starters, get
all the starters on there, man. And those guys, I think they would just, I don't even think you would have to pay those guys very much. Just give them a free game. I think they would love it. I mean, especially those older, like if I'm an offensive lineman that played with Vince Young in the 05 team and, or Colt McCoy or, one of those guys for the University of Texas, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I was going to sit there and say, I don't think work done is hard up that he needs cash.
Yeah. I mean,
the guy gives away free houses every year.
if I'm Michael Crabtree and
he owns part of the Falcons.
Yeah, he's a minority owner, I think. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I to use Texas Tech for example,
by the way, Work Done is my favorite player of all time.
Oh, it's mine too.
Nice.
He's awesome.
Like I got into
he's also one of the best people.
Yeah, and like I got into Florida State during the time Work Done was in the team. So
I got into Buccaneer because Work Done went to the Buccaneers, and that's when I was like, I was a Dallas fan, and then I'm like, I'm too many felonies. Who am I gonna like? Okay, Work Done went to the Buccaneers, and Derek Brooks is there.
Yep,
that's my team, and then been ever since.
Yep.
Although now, like, I think my second favorite now is Jordan Travis.
I like my favorite. When I was a kid, my favorite was Emmett. I was at the training camp the year before he won.
Emmett Smith?
Yeah, Emmett Smith.
Yeah.
And then Jason Witten was my favorite player. Oh, I almost forgot to mention this. I went to Tom Grassi's 30 and 30. I went to the Houston gathering, and that was fun. There was a dude in a full Eagles outfit that I had to take a picture with because I was
by the way,
but I'm impressed by your costume.
By the way, my friend who is a Cowboys fan says you're a traitor.
Listen, I've been told I'm going to hell by a Eagles fan simply for the color of my skin. So, I've gotten the abuse. Okay. No, Grossi was cool. Like, he was a super nice guy. Talked to every single person. He was there for like 7 hours. I also watched him ride a mechanical bull. That was hilarious.
Yep.
That was fun. So I'm in the background of his video. If you didn't watch it, but that was a lot of fun.
Houston one or the Dallas one?
The Houston one. I could have possibly gone to the Dallas one. I told him to give my regards to Papa Grossi because his dad's a huge Cowboys fan. But yeah, it was cool. It was really cool to meet him. Super just down to earth, chill. I was like, "Have you ate today?" He's like, "The streak continues," and I got to meet Pastor, who was super, super awesome. He gave me such shit though because I was wearing my Cowboys jersey. He lives in Houston, so he's a huge Texans fan. The Texans hate the Cowboys more than they do the Oilers, which makes no fucking sense to me. None. Like
down the street rival.
I get it's they've always been the little brother. Like Houston's always been the little brother to Dallas when it comes to sports. So I get it. Like,
hey, let me ask you a question. So, are you going to do a brand new day reaction?
that is my plan. My plan is going to do what I will do a live stream with on the weekend of Brand New Day. My thought is maybe doing it Sunday.
Give people time to watch it.
Give people time to watch it. I know Brad's probably going to do his on Friday or Saturday, so I don't want to do it at the same time as his. And that's not because like anything against Brad. I just don't. I try not, because I know my audience is going to have natural crossover between the two. So that's why.
Are you saying you're the little brother?
I am the little brother.
He's always been the little brother.
I mean, are we surprised at this point?
Or the redheaded stepchild?
Well, when I was, never mind.
When you were there, yes, you were the kicking.
I was what they call the butt monkey. I was the punching bag. With love and respect.
Sometimes.
Most times. But no, I am planning on that. That is like one of my plans. I'm just not. Listen, I'll be honest. I am struggling on the comic side. It's a struggle. Though that freaking controversy with Ramita Jr. just pissed me off.
Yeah, why are people turning on Ramita Jr.?
Because it needs something to bitch about.
It's a weird the pose is a little strange with his shoulders up. Okay, it looks a little weird. But it looks beautiful with the painting. I mean, it looks cool. I saw a video of somebody like bragging about it getting taken off as the main one, and they're like, "Yeah, we got to take it down. This is a victory." I'm like, dude, like that's ridiculous.
First of all,
this man has done so much for Spider-Man, and for Marvel.
He's drawn more Spider-Man comics than like
anybody.
And I listen.
Maybe Mark Bagley. I don't know.
Man, I don't know at this point because it's close. I mean,
depends if you don't count Ultimate, then definitely Ramita Jr. for sure.
Yeah.
But if you count Ultimate,
and
I don't know.
Like Life Story and all the stuff he's done.
But if you get just pure Amazing Spider-Man, and he wins hands down.
I mean, he's done multiple runs with multiple writers now, whether it's the Mackie run, whether it's the Stern run. I mean, the thing that annoys me is that there was one guy like talking shit about Sal on freaking Twitter that I had to call out. I'm like, dude just died, man. Like, show some respect for a guy that literally did more issues. Like, at one point he had done more issues of Spectacular Spider-Man than any other artist that's ever been on Spider-Man. So like, but the controversy was dumb. Because that was 100% bleeding cool reading into shit that didn't exist. Like, if you read the actual PR stuff, and I get the PR stuff. I'm on the emails. So I read the stuff, and I know the people at Marvel now personally. So like, I had to make the reaction to that. I was like, no, this is you have a 1A and a 1B. It's issue 1000. There's two main covers, and then you got a bazillion variant covers. Some of them are gorgeous. Listen, that J. Scott Campbell one is absolutely one of the best J. Scott Campbell covers that he's ever done. When he's not sitting there just drawing chicks to make them look sexy, and he's putting the effort in.
He's a talented artist.
He's extremely talented. But
it's also like, why are we paying so much attention to the covers? How about the actual story that's in?
I'm far more worried about what Joe Kelly's going to write in these books, because I am at the point. And listen, I have tried not to be overly negative, but the last year of stories on Amazing Spider-Man, as pretty as Pepe Larraz's artwork was, I think he's been wasted. The Spider-Man space arc, I don't give an absolute flying shit about anything that he does in space. I don't care about his not Guardians of the Galaxy group. I was far more interested in the Norman as Spider-Man dynamic, which, even though like on the surface I kind of hate.
But I'm Ben as Peter for some reason.
Yeah.
And so I'm not current because I'm on Digital Unlimited, so I'm like 3 months behind. but I'm in Death Spiral right now. The beginning of like issue 4, I think I read. And like, what is the point of this?
It is the absolute, like, the Death Spiral almost broke me. It almost broke me.
Like, they literally killed the Shocker because supposedly he's related to Mary Jane. Like, what? Like, they just throw that in there. They could have just said, I'm going to go kill you because I want your gauntlets. But no, I'm also going to kill you because Mary Jane is your cousin somehow, third removed. Also, Mary Jane being Venom is stupid as hell. Why is she as Venom still having a male body? I thought the whole point was they were trying to hide that it was a female inside a host. And then they kept her as, because every other female symbiote host, that when they give them a female body. Well, but hers, they keep her as a male body. It's like,
it was basically to be like, who is
Venom? Well, that's what I'm saying, the fake out, but the fake out's over. That was happening. Like, I know. When they revealed, once they revealed her, that I figured they would slim her down and
so now
get some sex appeal in there because that makes the fanboy.
Hey, let the man answer.
Sorry.
the end. Minor spoiler for Venom. After Death Spiral, she does take on the foot.
Oh, does she? Really?
Yeah, she does. Yes.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen any of that. I've been trying to avoid it.
Yeah. So that does occur, and then it's basically building up for Queen in Black, which I have a lot of fundamental problems with them putting Mary Jane in the symbiote to begin with. But Death Spiral felt like it was the culmination of a year's worth of story for Venom and Carnage that happened to have Spider-Man in it because they
want to make more money.
Yeah, the issue after Death Spiral with MJ and Peter is one of the better issues because it kind of sort of delves into the topics that MJ and Peter really needed to talk.
Well, the fact that she's been two different superheroes at this point.
Yeah.
The
death that did Paul die in part 4?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
It's the one after that.
Must have been. I haven't read it yet. Thanks for the spoiler.
My bad.
I don't really care though. That's fine. I think I heard rumor of that. There was a cheer heard around the spider world.
Yeah.
And all the people rejoiced. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least that happened. But at this point, I'm of the belief that most of Death Spiral is just a colossal ass waste of time, and that we're just buying time because we're getting close to 1,000.
Yeah. Not to interject here.
Sure.
Aren't we supposed to be talking about sports?
That's true, but we've already.
Sorry, I got us off on the brand new day topic.
No, I got you. I just noticed that we're still live, so I didn't know whether this was.
It's called the Spideydude Network.
It is the Spideydude Sports Chat. So if a Spider-Man conversation just happens to
freak out, okay, just wondering.
But I do want to, as I plug in my camera because it's about to die.
Unplug the camera.
Now, yeah. All right. So
as he says, it's about to die. It dies. You can't move perfect timing, better timing than that.
So okay, everybody. We are going to be doing this probably once a month up until the start of the NFL season. That's going to be kind of when we're mainly doing the show. We'll be talking about, we might do. I don't know. Do we want to do the fantasy draft live? That would be kind of fun.
I mean, we could.
I don't know if anybody would want to watch that, other than the people that are in it. But
hey,
let's remember
content. If one person watches our fantasy draft,
it keeps the algorithm fed.
Exactly. We got
to. Let's remember, at least once each of the 3 years has featured me screaming bloody murder how I'm going to murder somebody for taking my guy. That alone is worth the price of admission.
I think last year was me taking Baker Mayfield from you.
Yes, it was.
No. You got to remember, it was Show who kept picking all my Bucs players, and he knew what he was doing.
And the best part was he ended up being DAL too, didn't he? He was dead ass last.
He was dead ass last, yes.
Yeah.
He picked
that's what
4
happens
quarterbacks. Four quarterbacks. And I'm like, I'm pleading to try dude, you need more of this. Here, give me him. I'll give you 2 of these players.
Yeah. But listen, we're not we lost one of them, so we only have one Tyson now. The other Tyson is not going to do fantasy this year, which is fine. But yeah. So next month we'll be we're going to be getting close to training camp and the training camp battles. So maybe we'll do something for training camp. The World Cup will be over, so we'll kind of recap the World Cup and talk a little bit about baseball. We didn't talk about it tonight, but and I will make sure that I have a much more broken down rundown
and prepared outline.
Yeah, listen, I went to church tonight. So I was supposed to do another podcast. We've got the Noir podcast that we're doing, Spider Noir, covering each episode.
Oh, I love that.
It was a very good show.
I have not finished it yet. I have been trying to watch it once a week.
I recently had a free trial.
What episode are you on?
They just wrapped up episode 5, I think.
Is that the origin one?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, I that was interesting. And I watched the first episode in color, and then I watched it in black and white.
Oh, you got to watch in black and white.
I watched the rest of it in black and white. Yeah.
Next time I get the free trial, I'm going to be watching in black and white.
Yeah,
because I watched it all through color first.
Yeah, because the way they shot it was specifically for black and white, and
because I'm a spider. Right? See? Yeah.
I'm part spider. My name is Ben Riley.
They do reveal why he's named Ben Riley later. Kind of.
Okay.
Listen,
they brought in Billy freaking Walters. I was like,
why is the electric guy not Electro? He's like Max Power or something.
He's the eel.
I thought they called him Max Power or something like that. Something weird.
Yeah. I think he's based on the eel. So
you literally have Sandman, and then Tombstone is for some reason an armadillo. That's my only complaint about the whole thing, because it's a great show. I love it.
Yeah.
But why is Tombstone an armadillo man? I don't know.
It's weird.
And I don't think they call him Tombstone I don't think he's ever called Tombstone. They just call him
Which makes me think that we already know that they already cast somebody as Tombstone in Brand New Day. So
yeah. Maybe that's why they don't want to.
That's probably why. I mean, the whole reason that people are like, why is he Ben Riley? And I'm like, if you've read the Sony emails and all the Sony stuff, they cannot make him Peter Parker based on the rules.
They also can't have Mary Jane. They can't have. I think they can't have anybody that's been in the movies, at least the MCU movies.
That's always been special.
That's why they don't have J. Jonah Jameson, but they have Robbie.
Yeah, I think so. That there's that. I mean, they put Billy Walters as one of the Bugle cast, which I thought was just, but that one took me out. I was like, Walter, wait a minute. Billy fucking Walters, like what? And we went on like a 10-minute tangent on that. Like, and the guy that Chris brought in was like, who's Billy Walters? Because he's legit. I was like, he was like a character in the 90s.
Yeah. He was a rival photographer, right?
He was a Cub photographer that was like, Peter was supposed to take him under his wing because he was going to do not only photography, but he was going to do also reporting. So like he wanted him to do photography and reporting. So he was going to be paired up with Peter, and then Peter always had to ditch him. And
he was a little blonde kid, right?
Yeah, he's blonde. And then he was later on, DeFalco brought him back to put as the editor-in-chief of the Bugle in Spider-Girl. But he doesn't really show up basically after like the second or third year. So the more you know. So yeah, so definitely check us out. Speaking of different things, we've got different podcasts on the Spideydude Radio Network. Media assets. Okay. So we've got the Slot Symposium, where we talk about we revisit the Dan Slot era in association with the Comic Binge YouTube channel. We have the Ultimate Spideydude Experience, where we talked about the Ultimate Spider-Man comic. We have Make My Mayday, the show all about Mayday and her world. The Patreon first show, first show, Books of X, covering the Cohen era of X-Men. Our Vault series, Spectacular Radio, and Clone Saga Chronicles, the show that started it all, as well as the Sal Buscema era podcast. Check out the Volume 2 of Amazing Spider-Man Classics, and, of course, the Spideydude Experience here on the channel as well. We want to always thank our patrons over at patreon.com/Spidey Network. Everything we do here on this channel, including this show, is being supported by our patrons at patreon.com/Spidey Network. So we've got our sensational tier: Allison, Cindy, Casey, Doug, Ed, Eric, Georgia, Greg, Janelle, Jessica, Joyce, Catherine, Kale, Laura, Howard, Moose, Master Drammond, Venetian, RJ, Vanessa, Vicky, David, Ian. Thank you guys for being sensational tiers. Those are $5 and up tiers. We have our friendly neighborhood tier of $1 and up: Greg, Lisa, Ultimate Fangirl.exe, Keegar, Joey, Alex, Kathira, Old Johnny Devick, and Van. Also, we have Greg Weisman's daughter, actually, is now a friendly neighborhood tier patron. We also have our spectacular patrons, Tara and Ryan, and then our VIPs, Vinkman, Walter, and Lord Eric. Thank you guys for your support of our Patreon, patreon.com/Spideydude Network. So if you want to get more behind the scenes stuff, including the video versions of Voices from the Eerie, a Gargoyles podcast, which is about to wrap up season 2 of Gargoyles, which is wild to think that they are already at the second, I think they started the second season finale with this latest episode. So check us out over there. And of course, you can always check us out on our social medias at Spidey Radio on Twitter/X. You got at Spidey Network on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and all that fun stuff. And then at Spidey Radio Network here on YouTube. And if you want to leave a voicemail, if you want to talk about your favorite sports teams, for example, leave us a voicemail, 818-925-6631. That's 818-925-6631. Leave us a voicemail and let us know about our different shows. We do appreciate everybody for watching, that are watching us live, and we'll see you next time here on the Spidey Radio Network.